I've got the birthday banner in the back. I've got the birthday hat on. I thought, hey, if I can't have a birthday party, why not just do it online, hey? I would love to do a podcast, but the thing with the podcast is I have to set up with other people. I have to, you can't really do a podcast on your own. So I think doing a live stream, answering your questions and uploading that basically just works as my own sort of podcast in a way. And I think that will work quite well. Do I have my eye on a new camera? Yeah, I've been looking at the Leica Q2. I would really like the Leica Q2, but I said to myself, I'll buy it once coronavirus goes away, once we start being able to travel again, because I feel like there's no point buying a new camera now when I'm not going to be able to use it, really. And I've got a good enough camera. I've got two cameras right now. I've got my Sony a7 III, and then I've got my Sony a7S III, which I'm using to stream this. What car will I replace my AMG with? Interesting, yeah. This is the thing, because in the last year, having cancer and the coronavirus and stuff, I haven't really driven my AMG much at all. And it's kind of made me rethink whether I should bother getting anything after the AMG. But we'll see. Knowing me, I probably will get something. I've been looking at all sorts of cars, really. I would maybe... This is the thing, I loved my Jaguar F-Type so much that I'm tempted to buy another one. Because it's just such a fantastic car. It's not as fast as the AMG, but I realise speed definitely isn't everything, because you can only really go up to 60, 70 miles an hour. After that, what's the point? You get caught, you get your points taken. Well, you get points and you get your license taken away. That's why I love the Tesla so much, because you get that initial thrill from 0 to 60. And after that, it really doesn't matter, because you're up to the speed limit anyway. Do I regret anything? Not really. I actually don't have any regrets in life, to be honest. Yeah, I really don't have any regrets. That's why when I got cancer last year, I kind of just thought to myself, hey, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go. As dark as that sounds, I kind of just thought to myself, I've done everything I wanted. I've done everything I want. Everything past what I want is just luxury now. It's not anything that I need or sort of have like a bucket list or anything. What is one of the strongest character growths you've gone through during your time battling cancer? Honestly, I think for me, it's time. I realised how much more valuable my time is. I really want to do things that I enjoy doing rather than doing things that I just don't like doing. I also can't be bothered with people who are late or are not on time. I tweeted about this earlier. Time has probably been the most important thing for me. Am I still doing web design work? Yeah, I am still taking on web design work, but it really depends. I'm very picky about the projects I take on. If there's an interesting project, then I'll take on web design work. But I turn down a lot of projects these days, mainly because most of the time the clients can't be bothered, or the budget isn't really high enough, or the project just isn't interesting enough. Project being interesting is the most important one for me. What's the first place I see myself traveling after the pandemic? So this is the thing, I actually would like to go somewhere in Asia, maybe like Singapore or Japan, because I've got quite a few air miles on my Amex card that I need to use. So yeah, I would like to go to like somewhere like that, or I might go to Toronto. Toronto is definitely on my list in Canada. Will I be getting the 16-inch M1 MacBook Pro with the M1 chip? Yes. So because I'm currently using right now to stream the 13-inch MacBook Pro, the M1 chip, and if Apple release the MacBook Pro, the 16-inch with the M1 chip, and it has a lot more cores and it has more RAM, then I will most likely buy it, because the M1 chip has just been amazing. And yeah, this laptop is well worth the money. I honestly don't think you can get a better, especially if you look at the MacBook Air for $1,000. I don't think you can get a better laptop for $1,000. There just isn't anything else that really comes close to the design, the quality of the product, and the hardware inside it. It's just so good. Do I have a team working with me on YouTube? No. So like I've said before, I don't do YouTube full time. I literally only do it myself. I probably spend a few hours a week doing YouTube. I might hire someone this year. So when it comes to YouTube, my biggest issue has been coming up with video ideas and coming up with writing those video ideas and producing them. So I might hire someone to help me produce those videos and sort of like write them, because I like doing the recording, I like doing the editing. That's not a problem for me, but I just need to come up with more sort of video ideas and planning them out, because that's the thing that takes up the most time. Because when you're writing a video, sometimes it can take days just to write a video. So yeah, that'll probably be what something I do this year, something that I sort out. Yeah, someone asked, why do I always talk in dollars and not in pounds? Well, the reason I talk in dollars is because most of you guys are from America. My America is the biggest audience for me, like by far. It's not even close to anything else. So yeah, I cater to a US audience for sure. Yeah, so for ULX, we are hiring. So there's two of us that run it. Charlie, he works for me. He runs ULX day to day. For ULX, I mainly just do like the design of the website and stuff. I don't actually do it full time. But for ULX, we're looking for someone to come on board and do sort of product design and sourcing the products, working with manufacturers and suppliers. That's something that takes up a lot of time, and I handle quite a bit of it. And because of that, our sort of release of products is quite slow, and I would like to release more products more regularly. So that's definitely the next stage for us. Maybe hire someone who can speak Cantonese, can speak various different Chinese languages, Chinese dialects, because obviously working with Chinese factories is quite difficult because their English obviously isn't fluent. So working with them and trying to get the product exactly how we want is quite difficult. Fresh Prince asks, hey, I have a MacBook Pro 13-inch 2015. Should I grab the M1 or wait for the 16-inch? It really depends, because it looks like you already have a 13-inch MacBook Pro. It really depends on what you want to do with it, because my 13-inch MacBook Pro that I have, the M1, handles everything. I do my design work, my video editing. I'm streaming directly with this laptop as well. Editing photos, editing videos, handles everything perfectly. I've not had an issue with it. Sean Marsalis, don't know how you say your name, sorry. But how did you stay mentally strong through so much uncertainty through your journey? As a person who has anxiety, much less bad news crippled me. What? Oh, okay, I see what you mean. If anything, having the cancer for me, it didn't really change anything. I feel like I'm the same person as I was when I got told that I had cancer. Nothing has really changed for me. Obviously, when you get told you have cancer, that's like, shit, what the hell am I going to do? Am I going to survive this? Anyone would go through that. Being told that I had a form of cancer this is the thing, obviously no one should really get cancer, but being told that if you're going to get cancer and I've got the best one that you can get, that definitely made me feel better. It made me realise that I can fight this. And when I shared my video on I have cancer, so many people got in touch with me who also had the same testicular cancer. And hearing from them and hearing how they survived and whatever else really helped. But I think what scared me most was that my cancer was stage 4, well, stage 3C, stage 4. So it had spread into my lungs. So having 12 lumps in my lungs obviously isn't ideal. I think the biggest lump was like 18 millimeters in diameter. So that's quite large for a lump. But all the lumps after chemotherapy are pretty much gone. My question is, how is the MacBook M1 handling the 4K 120? So yeah, it handles it really well. This is the big thing, and this is why I use it. My iMac struggled so much with 120 FPS 4K footage. It handled the 4K 30 FPS no problem, but 4K 120 FPS footage was just impossible to edit on my iMac. So editing it on this, it's so much smoother and so much better. I do sometimes get choppy frames, but it's just so much easier and so much smoother to edit 4K 120. I can't use any of the laptop, I can't use any computer. Even my PC rig, which I have a 2080 Super in, which is quite a powerful GPU, 2080 Super to have, and I have a Core i7 9700K. So quite a big rig. That can't even handle 4K 120. It doesn't play the clips. In DaVinci Resolve it struggles so much. But Final Cut Pro on my M1 MacBook Pro, doing 4K 120 FPS footage, 10-bit 422, handles it like a dream. It's fantastic. Favorite fonts right now, Inter is definitely my number one favorite font that I use a lot for web design and stuff. Made Mirage is quite a nice serif font. Termina, so I use Termina in a lot of my videos. Gotham is the one that I'm using actually for the thumbnail for this video, and I use it in a lot of thumbnails for other videos as well. It's the one that Barack Obama used on his campaign when he was running for president as well. Fantastic font. I feel like it's very, very versatile font. Will I be doing more Skillshare? Yeah, I've actually got a Skillshare class in the works right now on UI design, sort of quick UI tips and going through quick UI sort of recommendations. So yeah, if you guys are interested in Skillshare, check out, you have to go to my website and there's a link called Teaching Design. Click on that link, Teaching Design. You can get 2 weeks free of Skillshare. Completely free to sign up. If you like the classes, you can carry on. If you don't, you can cancel your account, no problem. So yeah, if you guys are interested in checking out my Skillshare classes, the link for it is on my website. I'll have more Skillshare classes coming soon. Let me know what other Skillshare classes you guys would like to see, because I'm still sort of trying to figure out what classes people want to see. How did I make my online store? So I get asked this a lot. How did I build ULX? How did I go through it? So I do have an ebook that's on my website, which is actually linked in the description of the video as well. But it's not even going to be an ebook. It's more like going to be like a guide / course in a way, basically going through how to build your own store. So I get asked all the time, how did I build ULX? How did I source the products? How do I market the products? How did I make the website? All these different questions. I'm going to be basically putting together a guide on how to do that yourself. So anyone who's interested in that, check it out. It's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. And the reason it's not cheap is because there's a lot of work that needs to go into it. And I want to give people more of a sort of personal experience, you could say, because the people who do pre-order and do buy it will be able to talk to me directly and ask me questions that they have. So that's what I'll be doing. If you guys are interested, check it out. Pre-order it, because that's the best way you're going to be updated to have your own store and things like that. Why did I get a Model 3 Performance instead of a Model S? Good question. So the Model S in the UK is actually considered a very big car. Even the Model 3, I'd say, is quite big for what it is. So yeah, the Model 3 just makes more sense. It's a smaller car, and it's inside, I'd say it's nicer as well. It's more modern. The tech in it is more modern as well. I think Tesla really need to update their Model X and their Model S interior and like layout and everything like that. The screens especially. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I went for the Model 3. What's the ideal laptop size for you? So I actually really like the size of the 13-inch MacBook Pro. I really like this size. I actually think it's a really, really good size. I would love it if I could have a lot of power in like this sort of form factor, but naturally you're going to get more power in a bigger form factor like the 16-inch MacBook Pro. So I will most likely get the 16-inch MacBook Pro once that comes out. A designer or a developer at a company like Facebook or Twitter or places like that can earn anywhere between 200 to $500,000 a year, 200,000 to $500,000 a year. But an agency will only offer you they'll offer you less than 100,000, which just isn't worth it, because the amount of work that they require you to do is just insane, especially when you compare it to big companies like Amazon and Twitter and Facebook. So yeah, I have like numerous friends who are at Facebook, who are at Twitter, who are earning like $500,000 a year. Like it's quite normal to get paid that sort of money. I have $2,700 budget for my YouTube channel. What would you recommend? A good camera for YouTube is definitely the Sony A7 III. You can get them, I say they're cheap. They're not obviously cheap, but what you get for the money is really good. For like $1,500, you can get a Sony A7 III with a kit lens, and honestly that is like amazing. Like, it's such a good YouTube camera. What do I do for a living beside YouTube? So beside YouTube, I have my store, my ULX store. I do design work. I'm also working on some other businesses which I haven't really shared online. I'm working with someone starting a new business right now. I also have my digital products, so like my themes and icons and Skillshare classes, just a mix of stuff. It just makes, I like doing a mix of stuff naturally. So yeah, I have a few businesses here and there. That's a good question. So am I working with a business partner? I hear that it's basically a death wish to involve someone else into your business. That's completely wrong. Completely wrong. I think it's a bad idea to go into business with friends and family, for sure. I think that's definitely a bad idea. But going into business with someone else who is maybe an acquaintance that you've met through work, or that you've worked with in the past, or has built other businesses before, has experience in being at other business, can be very, very beneficial. Because if you have two people and you have all of this experience put together, you're more likely going to succeed than doing it yourself. I kind of wish that I started my ULX store with another business partner. I'd actually happily give them 50% of the business if I knew that they would also bring the same amount of value that I bring to the business, for sure. Best investment you made in yourself. I think the best investment that I made in myself was just learning how to do stuff, learning how to design websites, learning how to do design, learning how to build an audience. Like you guys are here watching me. I feel like building an audience is very, very important. Learning how to code, make stuff. So yeah, I'm learning how to market as well. I'm learning how to market stuff and sell stuff, because you can build stuff. You can be a very, very clever person, very academically clever, but if you don't know how to sell, if you start a business and you don't know how to sell stuff, it doesn't matter. Like selling stuff and marketing stuff is so important. I'd actually say it's more important than being clever, being academically clever, especially because for me, I didn't even go to university. I just went to college and got like A-levels and stuff, but I didn't go to university. And I just realized out of university, like university definitely helps if you want to get a job somewhere, but if you're a designer, if you're a developer, you do sort of a job like that, university really doesn't make sense, because you can do all of these sorts of things just from home. And companies are more likely to hire you or work with you if you have a portfolio of stuff that you've made, even if it's your own stuff that you've made. It doesn't have to be for someone else. If you've made stuff for yourself that's useful, people will hire you, no problem. And it's good money. It's fantastic money, actually. Did I code my website myself or use a website builder? No, I coded my website myself. It's based on WordPress though. But yeah, I coded my theme and everything all by myself, just so that I could have it look the way I want it to look. So Kevin asks, what's your secret to be consistent with business, YouTube and your personal life? There is no secret. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret thing. You said it yourself. It's just being consistent. It's just doing it. But at the same time, you've got to enjoy doing it. If you don't enjoy doing it. So I think one of the big things that I live by is that find something that you find fun and enjoy to do, but everyone else sees as work. So making videos, doing design, coding, all these things, people would see as work. They'd be like, oh man, I don't really want to do this. This is just work. But I personally enjoy doing it. I personally have fun doing it. And I think that is the most important thing. Find something that you have fun doing, but everyone else sees as work. Oh, that's a good one. How did I form connections and meet people when I didn't go to university and work for myself? So the way I did it was online, using Twitter, using Instagram, YouTube, places like that. Anyone that I'm interested in working with, or things that I come across online, I'll sometimes contact them, I'll sometimes ask them, email them, message them, whatever else it may be. I don't expect a response. This is the worst thing. Whenever you email someone who doesn't know you or message someone that doesn't know you, you shouldn't expect a response, because they've got other shit going on. They don't have time to message and reply to everyone. So when you message or email someone, don't expect a response. That's not how it works. And try and provide value. This is the other thing. If you want to get someone's attention, it's going to sound nuts. Try and do something for them for free. Whatever it may be. Maybe they're struggling with something, or maybe they've asked a question on Twitter. Answer their questions, or maybe make something for them. Whatever else it may be. That's a really good way to get someone's attention, I found, and a really good way to form a relationship, for sure. Because when you give something to them and they like it and they enjoy it, they're going to feel like they need to give back to you, and that's a really good way to form a relationship, I think. Relationships at the end of the day are a matter of giving and taking. That's all it is, really. Am I interested in red cameras? Yeah, I really like red cameras. So one of the issues, because I really did like the red Komodo camera, but one of the reasons why I didn't go for it is because of the autofocus. So autofocus is so important for me, especially being a one-man YouTuber. I don't have someone behind the camera checking the autofocus, checking that I'm in focus. And the Sony a7S III has the best autofocus that you can get right now, and I can trust without looking at the camera, because I can't actually see the screen on the camera, but I can trust that I'm in focus, and that will always have me in focus. It always focuses on my eyes, because that's the most important thing. When you watch another YouTuber, you most likely look at their eyes or you look at their mouth, and when they're not in focus, it's really hard to concentrate on the video. So yeah, I really do like red cameras, but it just doesn't make sense for me right now. Oh, this is a good one. James asks, any recommendations on a video editing laptop under $1,200? MacBook. You want to get a MacBook, an M1 MacBook. They edit videos absolutely perfectly. I edit my 4K 120 FPS 10-bit 422 videos on my MacBook, no problem. Get a MacBook. You'd be, honestly, like right now, you'd be stupid to get anything else. Trust me. I'm going to end the live stream here, everyone. It's been an hour and a half. My voice is going from like shouting on the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Make sure also to check out the blog. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and like the video, whatever else it may be. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to end it here.